Welcome to Academic Gain Tutorials. In this video we will discuss about dividend wealth target calculation for buying more shares monthly. Many investors want to use dividend income not just for spending, but also for growing their portfolio faster. In other words, instead of taking cash dividends out, they reinvest that income to buy more shares every month. This creates a compounding effect, and over time it can help build both a larger portfolio and a higher future income stream. First, begin by setting your monthly reinvestment target. This means deciding how much you want your dividends to generate each month so you can regularly buy more shares. For example, if your goal is to reinvest $500 every month, then that becomes your starting target. Next, convert that monthly amount into an annual amount, because dividend yield is usually based on yearly income. To do that, simply multiply the monthly target by 12. So, $500 per month multiplied by 12 gives $6,000 per year. That means you need $6,000 in annual dividend income to support your monthly share purchases. Then, choose an expected dividend yield. Dividend yield is the annual dividends divided by the portfolio value. This is an important step because it helps estimate how large your portfolio may need to be. In the example, common yield assumptions are 3%, 4%, 5%, and 6%. A lower yield means you need a bigger portfolio, while a higher yield means a smaller portfolio may be enough. However, it is usually better to use a realistic and sustainable yield rather than an overly optimistic one. After that, calculate the required portfolio using the core formula. The formula is required portfolio equals annual dividend income divided by dividend yield. Since the annual income need in this example is $6,000, you divide $6,000 by the yield you expect to earn. Now, let's look at what that means at different yields. At a 3% yield, $6,000 divided by 0.03 gives a required portfolio of $200,000. At a 4% yield, $6,000 divided by 0.04 gives $150,000. At a 5% yield, the portfolio needed is $120,000. And at a 6% yield, the required portfolio drops to $100,000. So, as you can see, the expected yield has a major impact on your target. However, it is also smart to add a safety buffer. This helps account for taxes, inflation, fees, and possible dividend reductions. In the example, a 15% buffer is used. That means the $6,000 annual income need increases by $900, bringing the new annual target to $6,900. With that buffer included, the required portfolio becomes a little larger. At a 3% yield, $6,900 divided by 0.03 equals $230,000. At a 4% yield, it equals $172,500. At a 5% yield, it becomes $138,000. And at a 6% yield, it becomes $115,000. This gives a more conservative target and can make the plan safer. In addition, it is helpful to estimate how long it may take to reach the goal. To do that, subtract your current portfolio from your target portfolio and then divide the gap by your annual contributions. For example, if your target portfolio is $172,500 using a 4% yield with buffer, and your current portfolio is $25,000, then the remaining gap is $147,500. If you contribute $10,000 per year, the estimated time to reach the goal is about 14.75 years. At the same time, remember that this simple estimate does not include investment growth or reinvested dividends. If your portfolio grows over time and dividends are reinvested effectively, the timeline could be shorter. On the other hand, if markets underperform or dividends are reduced, it could take longer. That is why this calculation should be treated as a planning tool rather than a guarantee. Moreover, there are a few key ideas to keep in mind. Reinvesting dividends helps you buy more shares, higher yields reduce the portfolio needed, realistic yield assumptions are important, and adding a safety buffer can provide peace of mind. Most importantly, staying consistent and letting compounding work over time can make a big difference. So, the main takeaway is simple. The more you reinvest today, the more shares you may own tomorrow, and the more income those shares can potentially generate in the future. This creates a cycle where dividend income supports more share purchases, and those extra shares can produce even more dividends later on. If this short video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.